Live. There we go. Okay, so today's notes. Okay, so it is 3/5/2020. So my objective is to make or create linear equations. Okay. So my job today, we're going to try and create linear equations, and then we're going to write this down, a linear model, y equals mx plus b, okay? Write that down. There's a few things we know, because we're pretty good at this, okay? So we know that the m is our slope, right? We know that, and slope is basically our rise over a run. We also know that the b is the y-intercept, right? And the b is the y-intercept. Okay, sorry, it's all squished in there, my bad. Okay. So, the first 6 are really pretty darn easy. Okay? First 6 are really easy. The answer is just as simple as this. That's my slope. Okay? So the answer, number 1, is just going to be y equals 0x plus 9. That's it. With one small exception. One small exception. I don't really need the 0x. You guys agree?
Yes.
So I could rewrite it as y equals 9. Okay? And I know that line, I'm not asking to graph it, but I know that if I had to graph this line, it looks something like this, up at 9. Right? I know if I had to graph it, it would look like this, right? You guys agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. But I don't need you to graph it. I just want the equation, okay? For number 2, what's the equation?
Y equals negative 1.
Y equals negative 1x plus 0. Perfect. Okay, perfect. And you don't really need the 0, right? The 0 is kind of invisible, but we wrote it anyway. Or I could have written it as y equals a negative 1x, right? Because the 0 is kind of invisible. Nice job. Okay. How about number 2 or number 3? What's the answer to number 3?
Y equals 2x minus 3.
It's that easy, right? Isn't this easy?
Yep.
Okay. Number 4. What's the answer?
Y equals negative 0 plus 7. Oh, good.
Okay.
No, you were right.
Okay. Easy.
Yes.
How about number 5? What's the answer?
Y equals 4x minus 2.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. 6.
Y equals 1/3 x plus 2.
Good. Now, I'm going to back up. Correct on all of these. I'm going to back up. So, if I needed to graph this, slope is easier done if it's a fraction. So I could write this as negative 1 over 1. So I go down 1 over 1, down 1, right?
Yep.
I could rewrite this as what? 2 over 1. So I go up 2 over 1, up to 1, right? Because you need a fraction here. I can make this as negative 3 over 1. So I go down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, right? Because you need a fraction for slope. I can rewrite this as a 4 over 1, so I go up 4 over 1, up 4 over 1, right? Everybody agree? We don't write the 1 because the 1's kind of invisible, but if you put it in, oftentimes it makes it easier to graph. You don't have to put the 1 in, but if you do, it makes it easier to graph because slope is a fraction, right? Rise or run. Okay, now 7. If you can count, and if you have the squares, then making the graph is pretty easy. Okay? So instead of using my formula, if you can count, it's easier. So right off the bat, I'm going to go y, the slope. Looks like I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. And my y-intercept, or my b, is at negative 1. You see that?
Oh, what?
So my answer is y equals negative 4 over 1x minus 1. Cass?
Isn't it the same thing if I said 4 over negative 1?
Yes. Can I address that?
Yes.
Good question. Good question. So, really good question. So, Cass, watch. think, before I show you, think about this. We go down, right now we're not going to, but if we went out to the hall, and if we walked up the stairs, or if we walked backwards down the stairs, we're on the same stairs. Let's say it again. Listen, I walked up the stairs, or walked backwards down the stairs, the slope of the stairs is the same thing. So here's the way Cass wants to do it. He wants to go back 1, up 4, same line. So if you change this to a 4 over a negative 1, they're the same slope, aren't they? Good point. Right, I like that. So negatives float. And so I want you to see this. If you haven't learned this yet, these 3 are all the same answer. They really are. Okay, this is a 4 over negative 1. This is negative 4 over 1. This is a negative 4 over 1. They're all the same answer. Okay? Thanks, Cass. That was a great question. Okay? Now, let's keep going. So let's do number 2. Or number 8. Sorry, what's the slope? It looks like I'm up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. So my slope is up 4 over 2 or 2 over 1. You guys agree with that?
Yep.
And the y-intercept is 0. So the line, the name of the line is y equals a 2 over 1x plus 0. Now, I'm going to answer another question. Okay? Now, some of you guys are really athletic. That's pretty cool. So some of you, when you take stairs, you go up 4 over 2. Or some of us old people go up 2 over 1, up to 1. So, same slope. This is Braden. He goes 4 at a time. This is Mr. Davies. He's old. Mr. Davies does 2 at a time, right? Same slope, though. You guys agree? See that? Okay, now, let's take a look at number 9. So let's count it. My slope is down 1. So these go by 2s, right? So down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's down 9 over 1, 2, 3. So what makes this one a little confusing is they went by 2s. You see that? But now, let's think if we're smart about this. I went from a height of 5 down to a height of negative 4. Think about this. I went from 5 to negative 4. How much did I drop?
9.
There you go. And I dropped it to negative 1. See it?
Big brain.
Yep. And I went over from 0 to 3, right? Right? So my slope, if I reduce it, is negative 3 over 1. And my y-intercept is at 5. So my answer would be y. Yes. Totally agree. You don't need the 1, do you? You don't need the 1. I like you guys to put the 1 in there because when you graph it, you remember that up, over, right? Okay. 10. So let's do a big brain. Okay.
Big brain?
So if I go from a height of 3 to a height of 0, how much do I drop? If I go from a height of 3 to a height of 0, how much do I drop?
3.
So these are going down 3. So my slope is down 3. And if I went from a x value of 0 to an x value of 4, I went over 4. Okay, there's my slope. Or you can count it. You can count it. And so down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. My y-intercept is at 3, right? So I'm going to y equals negative 3 force x plus 3. How am I doing? Does this seem pretty easy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, and I'll let you catch up and I'll turn the page, okay? Okay, turn the page. Now, right equation. Here's where it gets hard, okay? So, right after that, before I start, I'm going to circle this. See the 0, 2? See the 0, 2? That means that I know the y-intercept is 2. Think about where that point is. If I have to graph this point, okay? So think about where that point is. 0, 2 is right there. That's my b, is 2. Can you see that? Okay, now the slope. Let's do the slope. The slope is going to be, watch, it's going to be 3 minus 2 over 4 minus 0. The slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 3 minus 2 over 4 minus 0, which is a 1 over 4, okay? So my equation is y equals 1/4 x plus 2, okay? 12. Almost done. 12. This is my y-intercept, 0, 8. I'd go up 8 and put a dot, wouldn't I? So my b is 8. My slope is, you ready? 8 minus 0 over 0 minus 8. So I do this one minus this one over this one minus, so see the pattern? See the pattern? This one minus this one over this one minus this one. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then I get
I should do it. I'm probably going to fail.
8 over negative 8, which is a negative 1. So my answer is y equals negative 1x plus 8. Okay, now, example 12 is the same thing. It's the same thing. So this could be rewritten as 6 negative 2 and 0 minus 5. Okay, rewrite it. It's a point, this is a point, 6 negative 2, but it's written in function form. It's a point, 0 negative 5, but it's written in function form. There's my b. There's my b, because if I had to graph this, I'd have to go down negative 5, right?
Do you want us to graph it?
No. But you could if you want to. So we just need the equation. There's my b is that. Now my slope, you ready? And I'll say it again. Watch. Slope is this one minus this one over this one minus this one. I'll say it again. This one minus this one over this one minus this one. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, okay? So I'm just doing the formula in my head, right? So my slope is going to be negative 5 minus a negative 2 over a 0 minus 6, which simplifies to double negative, right? A negative 3 over negative 6, which is a positive 1/2. My answer is y equals 1/2 x minus 5. Edie, question?
Plus 0, right?
It's a negative 5. Good question. Thank you. Edie, I do make mistakes, so always question why to do, okay? Okay, now, number 14. We're not going to let this bother us. This really is a point, 0, negative 1, and 2, negative 1, okay? So we're going to rewrite it as a point, okay? So it's the same thing as a point, 0, negative 1, and 2, 1. So there's my b. 0, negative 1 means I go down. That's my b. There's a 0. Okay, that's my y-intercept. That's my b. Now my slope, here we go. My slope is negative 1 minus a negative 1. Double negative, right? Over 2 minus 0. So it's, again, this one subtract this one. This one subtract the negative 1.
Doesn't make a positive.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I like that. And then this one minus this one, okay? That's what I write, okay? So Braden's right. Double negative makes positive. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0 over 2, right? Which is 0. So my equation is y equals 0x minus 1. You don't need the 0. You don't need the 0 because 0x is just 0. You could write as y equals negative 1. Okay, what do you think? Thumbs up? Okay, you want to do a real quick get up, stretch, play a real quick game of 21, okay? All right, you guys want to get in your groups and play for... We'll show you how it's done.
1, 2.
Turn off the
Okay?
laser.
All right.
Live's on.
Put you in a group.
No, I couldn't do it. Got the Tom hit the
Bring her in, okay?
Mr. Davies.
Still recording. Oh.